Spicy fans, hey, I'm glad you're here today. The weather is so cold. It's seriously cold. The temperatures are in minus. And as you know, when temperatures are in minus, you need some food that are in the plus. So I have chosen one of the positive ones. Otor Etor. Locally, I call it otor. Otor is just like mash, dry mash, not very wet mash, just dry mash. It can be made with yam, potatoes, cocoyam, plantains, and cassava. I have had cassava one before. It was so yummy. I am using yam today, and I am making it with okro. Yes, etor with okro. I one day made etor with okro and somebody said, "Oh, you are making etor with okro?" Yes, we make etor with okro. We don't make only one way of etor. We have different ways of making etor. We have something we say in our language. That means a child who doesn't travel to places is the only one who says, "My mom is the best cook." Try Spicyfafa and you will see. I am making etor with okra sauce. We are starting right away, and I am putting in the pan my palm oil. As you know, I give my palm oils good treat before I use them, and I'm using a lot of palm oil today because I will use the extra palm oil for something that I'll show you what I'll do with. I always treat my palm oil. I buy this type of palm oil, and when it comes, it's not very original. So I treat it. It always has some amount of water in it. So I treat it with a bit of saltfish, any type of saltfish. Just a bit of this saltfish and a bit of onion. When I use this to fry the palm oil, it helps it and it makes it very aromatic. Smells nice. I do this and I fry it so they caramelize very well, and that's helping the oil also. Details of all my ingredients I'm using are in the description below. So I am sure now that my oil is treated. I am now going to put in my onion properly. It's just a simple sauce with okra that we eat with the etor. In goes the onions. As I said earlier on, the oil is a lot because I will be using some of the oil for something else. And my tomatoes. All ingredients have been nicely washed. Our tomatoes chopped and it's going in. As we wait for the tomatoes to cook, I am going to flake in my fish, and the fish I have chosen today is just roasted mackerel, preserved with lots of peppercorns. It's so nice. You can have this fish with anything. I'll flick a bit in. Oh, look at that. Sometimes I like it in big chunks. Big chunky do. I have fish lovers in this house. I'm not using all. This is my chopped and cooked okra. Look at it. I just cut it small like that. Grind it. They are very soft, so just take a ride with it. I quite like mine very chunky, but you can make it very smooth if you like. See, when you cut them in pieces like that, it's easy to just grind. But when it's long like that, you'll be struggling to cut it into pieces. Otherwise, your okra stew will be chaya. Chaya meaning it will be too rough. So this, you will do this in the consistency you like. You see, okra. I don't like it smooth again. I just want it like this. And I have my, this is the shrimp stock cube. If you realize, I'm not using any other spices or seasonings, just this one. I want to put in this beauty of a Scotch bonnet. I will just leave it in like that for whoever wants extra spice to crush it into his or her food. Taste it for season for you. Check it for everything if it's enough for you. I want the stew to cook a little bit and dry a little bit because I don't want it to be too runny. And then when it reaches that stage, we go to the next stage. I like doing this. It's so fun to do. But you can't be playing with food all the time, can you? It goes okra. Is it okra? Some people do this with adiado. You know adiado? Herring fish. The smoked herrings. When you put them in this food. Ooh. Alright. Stir that in nicely. And gently. I can already smell this pepper. So aromatic. This stew, we are making it for Etor right now, but it can be used for other things. Bet me, you can use it to eat rice. You can use it to eat yam, anything. Banku. Just checking on my stew, and I am 100% sure it is done. My stew is done, but I will add something else later and you will see what. You see the oil is a lot. That is because I will use it for something special. My Otor Etor Okro sauce, okra stew is done. This is now my water on the hob for the yam. My yam is from frozen. This is how I preserve my yams in the freezer. They are frozen. When I'm making yam, when I'm cutting yam for etor or fried yam, I cut it this way, in smaller and stripy ways. And then when you are making etor, you just wait for the water to boil, and then you put in the frozen yams directly, and then wait for it to cook nicely and soften. Then you continue from there. And if you want to fry, you just, while your oil is hot, just put your yam in it and fry directly. So these are food bags that I store them in. I have about lots of this in my freezer. That's how I preserve my yam. So I'm waiting for the water to boil. My water is boiling now, and I am going to directly put in my frozen yam. This yam looks good. And cut. This is what I do. I put in saltfish instead of salt. It still acts as salt, but it's adding extra flavor. And I'm going to use it for something I'll show you later. My saltfish in, and then lid on, waiting for the yam to cook and soften. Checking on my yam, my boiling yam, and it's almost ready. Before it finally gets ready, I want to chop onions. We are going to mash the etor with onions. So I want to cut the onions into pieces and then grind it. The aroma of onions in etor. It is so nice. And it is Spicyfafa making this. So spicy hot. That's also going to be grinded as well. Wash your hands. Some people put in garlics, ginger. That's you. If you want it, you can put it. Some even put in some other things like spring onions. This is what Spicyfafa wants today. Just hot happening peppers and then onions. So I'm starting to grind them before my yam gets ready. If you want a bit of salt, you can put it in it. But I have something up sleeves. The yam is ready. I'm going to take it off the fire and I will drain the water out. You don't leave your yam too much on the fire, otherwise it will be too soft. beautiful, beautiful. Our pepper is fine for me now. Pepper and onion. I'm bringing back the stew. And this is what I said I would do. I said I'll add something else to the stew, and that is my saltfish. And that is a saltfish that I'm going to flake back into the stew. And the aroma of this, oh, that is why I am not going to add any extra salt, because it is saltfish already. It's not that salty again because an amount of the salt has gone into the yam. So I'm just flaking it. If you have kids that are going to eat this, make sure you take off all the bones, or you take out all the bones. And if you're using any type of saltfish, saltfishes have bones in them. Make sure you remove every bone. This one is a bit, this side I'm using is a bit boneless. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. Excitement the what? Did I put that off? Okay. Let me wait a bit before I stir. This is where I am using my oil. You can as well prep the oil separately for the etor, but I want to do it all in one, you know, shabu shabu. I'm hungry. Our yam is ready. Look at it. And I am taking them in bit by bit and mashing with my masher tapoli, aka tapoli. This yam is so puka 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 puka. Hi. Then a bit of the oil. You see what I'm saving the oil for? Bit of the oil, and then more yam. Mash it. Bit of the oil. And then you do that to all your mash, all your yam is mashed. This needs a lot of energy to do. Don't wait too long after taking the yam off the fire. Don't wait too long before you start mashing. Otherwise, when the yam gets cold and you are mashing, it will be sticky, like it will be trying. It will be trying. But when it is still warm, the yam is puka puka, it's brittle. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Helper. I think I am okay now. Now I am mixing back I am stirring in, not mixing back, the saltfish into the sauce. And look how it is. Just look at it. Now we've reduced the oil. And because we have used this oil to make the stew, the aroma of that oil in that etor, you cannot describe it. Now I want to mix in the onions and the onion and the pepper. Look at etor. Look at etor. Otor. When you reach this stage, taste it to see if there's pepper, there's salt, whatever season you put in it, taste and see if it is. I think I want a rain of salt. Bam, 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 bam. Mix that in. Etor is ready. Oh, we have finished mashing the etor, and I'm just going to finish up with these beauties. If you have an egg slicer, just use it, but I am using my free hands. I want to leave this whole and whole. And now the icing on the cake. You know, etor can really choke people so easily, especially when kids are having it. It can easily choke them and they'll be like, but when you make it with okra sauce, it just goes. Other types of etor are also nice as well. I do them too. Some do it with peanuts. Try this. Look. Here it goes. Ooh. Wait, I can't wait. Look at that. I know you're going to say I'm too dramatic. I'm dramatic for a reason. You can have this tea with any other. Just look at it. Can you imagine this with banku actually? Yam, rice, gari eba, like that. The egg needs a bit of red wash. Look at you. Spicyfafa Etor. Ta-da! Special. I am really going to be a miser with this food. Just take a bit of the sauce, mix it with the etor. Fry it in your fingers and then give it a treat. So nice, so yummy, sumptuous. Spicyfans, if you are eating this food, especially with kids, make sure you have a glass of drink around. Enjoy. if you even want to complete your skills even better, there's this food I made that looks exactly like this called apapransa le congolo. If you want to try it, watch this video. Ta-da!